The Milwaukee Bucks have been an absolute mess to start off the 2025 NBA season. They beat the Philadelphia 76ers, who didn't have Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, but then they lost to the Chicago Bulls by 11 points, giving up 133 points to them, a team they definitely should have beaten. And then they lost to the Brooklyn Nets by double digits, and then everybody was sounding the alarm. They were not even really competitive in their second half against the Boston Celtics, and they are 1-3 to start off this NBA season, and I'm going to save them. So what is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? We are going to be rebuilding the Milwaukee Bucks. Shout out to 2K. Start today isn't working, and we're over a week into the NBA season. Are you surprised? Because I definitely am not. But yeah, a 1-3 start for a team that definitely doesn't have the ceiling that they once used to with Giannis Antetokounmpo, it feels like, because this bench hasn't been giving them a ton of runtime. Now, Chris Middleton has been hurt, so you could say that, and maybe that's a reason why they've been underperforming, but Dame is 34. It feels like him and Giannis maybe don't have as good of chemistry as you may think. Brook Lopez maybe is taking a step back on the offensive end of the floor, but still is a really good defender. You're getting good offensive output out of Gary Trent and Bobby Portis, and a little bit out of Taurean Prince, but yeah, you're not really getting much offense off the bench, and I don't trust this team to develop Andre Jackson, Marjon Beauchamp anymore. I definitely don't trust them with AJ Johnson's development in his rookie season. AJ Green hasn't been playing well. And oh yeah, they have Doc Rivers as their head coach, and they have not been a good team since they hired him in the middle of last year's season. And Giannis did say in the offseason that it feels like if they don't win the title, he could get traded, which may be the most nonchalant gaslighting trade request I've ever seen. But no, we are going to try to keep Giannis here. Maybe we'll do an eventual rebuild in 2K25 where we trade Giannis and we go into a rebuild. But the problem with doing that is we don't own our first round picks. Brooklyn owns it this year. New Orleans, Atlanta, Portland, Washington. Nobody, like, Milwaukee does not own their picks. We don't own one outright, at least until 2030, which is kind of alarming. And I am definitely a little bit nervous with this team going forward. We have a road game against the Memphis Grizzlies. We end up losing by 10. And there's one thing that I'm nervous about is Chris Middleton could be a free agent at the end of this year. And I think Chris Middleton's a good player, don't get me wrong, but that may be where we have to pivot to, because if I don't move Chris Middleton, I may have to trade Damian Lillard. And we are 10-9 at December 1st through the first 19 games. Not great. We are currently the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference. We have a negative 2-point differential. Giannis is putting up 29, 13, and 5.5 a night, 2 steals and 2 blocks. These are MVP numbers that we've known that Giannis can put up. Damian Lillard is having a better year, in my opinion, from last year. The assists are down, which is something to keep an eye on, but he is shooting better from the field and from 3, which is great to see. Gary Trent Jr. is shooting 38% from 3. Bobby Portis, who's also a free agent at the end of the year, is averaging 14 points. Now, what is he looking for? $12 million. Honestly, if I trade him or not, it doesn't matter. I should re-sign him. So let's give him a 3-year deal. We're going to pay him. I'll give him about, I think it's more fair that he makes $15 million, and that could probably match up with other players' opposing salaries if I were to trade him eventually. So yeah, let's give Bobby Portis a new 3-year extension. And Brook Lopez is 36 years old. Who's going to be the center on this team going forward? I don't know. Do we have to pivot to somebody that's going to come fairly cheap in the trade market? Because a couple years ago, I thought nobody was stopping Milwaukee. They won the NBA title in 2021. I really thought they were going to beat Boston in 2022, but then Chris Middleton was hurt in that playoff series and Giannis was phenomenal. 2023, they were the 1 seed. I was predicting them to go all the way, and then they lost to Miami in round number 1. Last year, they lose in round number 1 to Indiana. I don't have the confidence in Milwaukee as I once used to, which is weird because I still think Giannis is one of the best players in the NBA. Though it is January 1st and we are 14-17, I think I have to make a trade sooner than later. All right, I really hate to do this. I really do, but I'm going to try it. Oh my God, this could backfire so much. But yeah, Chris Middleton, who is 33 years old, Brook Lopez, who is 36 years old, both could be free agents at the end of the year. We're basically calling up Chicago, a division rival, and we're asking them, do you want to get out of the Zach LaVine contract? Do you want to get out of the Nikola Vucevic contract? So Vuce and Giannis, I'm honestly, like, I don't hate it because that would open up the paint like Brook Lopez has been able to do for Giannis. Yes, he's not as good as a rim protector, but maybe Giannis can help him out a little bit on that end of the floor. And I think LaVine gives us a little bit more long-term upside than Chris Middleton. They actually agreed to that straight up. And it helps a little bit that Brook Lopez isn't great in 2K. That's a crazy move to be making in year number 1. Let's also see what AJ Johnson can do. The bench is going to be DeLon Wright, AJ Johnson, Gary Trent Jr., and then Bobby Porter. So yeah, we're moving Gary Trent to the bench. He's still going to play a ton of minutes. We're going to have Nikola Vucevic at the 5, Giannis at the 4, Damian Lillard at the 1, and then we're going to have Zach LaVine at the 2. So this is not a good defensive backcourt whatsoever. Yeah, I think we still have another trade on the horizon. God, man, I hate having Doc Rivers as my head coach, but we are a 4-star balanced team right now. Our first day after trading away Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez, Bucks legends in a way. They helped them get a title in 2021. We end up losing to the Nets by double digits. Well, isn't that great? All right. Well, Levine fouled out. Giannis only played 29 minutes. Is it because Bobby Portis is a power forward? I'm making him a center. All right, so let's keep monitoring this team right now. And if we are not playing well, I may make a trade. Like, we don't have our first round pick, so I'm trying to make the playoffs. All right, so we have been playing better over the last few weeks with Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic. You could see impressive wins against Sacramento, Orlando, Miami, New Orleans, Philadelphia, Los Angeles. We just blew out the Utah Jazz. We are winning games right now. We are 25-20. I do feel like that was the right move. I know it sucks trading some fan favorites, but we had to get that done. So here on February 1st, we are 26-21. We still have a negative point differential. Like, the Pacers have a 5.7 point differential. I feel like they're going to be better than us long term. I'm not sure throughout the course of this season, but I feel like having LaVine as my number 3 option is great. And I think LaVine is a lot better than we give him credit for. All right, we're making another in-division trade right here. We're basically taking on Isaiah Jackson and Aaron Nesmith's contract that Indiana is regretting a little bit. So we're going to take on maybe this bad contract. I don't really think it's too bad. We're giving them Gary Trent Jr., giving them Pat Connaughton's expiring, and giving them Marjon Beauchamp, who I think they could definitely do something with. I don't trust Milwaukee to develop him, and I think getting Aaron Nesmith as a good 3-point shooter that could play the 3 for us could be valuable, because I do like what he did defensively against Jalen Brunson in the playoffs last year. And I think Isaiah Jackson could be a really good big man for us and could maybe even start over Vucevic if that didn't work out too well. I still want to give AJ Johnson some run time, but yeah, we're going to give Aaron Nesmith 20 plus minutes a night. DeLon Wright has been better as of late as well, but let's say, yeah, we go like 15. I think that's fine to Taurean Prince. And yeah, we're going to have Aaron Nesmith in the starting 5. So it's funny to have Nesmith on the Bucks now, which may look a little weird. So you got Lillard, LaVine, Nesmith, Giannis, and Vooch. We are 4.5-star balance with that. That is fantastic. And I don't think I'm going to make any more trades. We could get an extension done with LaVine. $15 million. What? I feel like that's pretty affordable. So I will give you, I think, something a little bit more realistic. $50 million, 2-year extension. Why not? 4 more years he's under contract. He was going to opt into that player option anyway. So Luka Doncic wins MVP this season. Zachary Risachet, Rookie of the Year. He shot 37% from the field, 31% from 3. Michael Carter-Williams type stat line. So Giannis does make all NBA first team, 26 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.7 steals, 1.8 blocks. And he shot 56% from the field as well. Here's all NBA second team with Embiid, Trey, LaMelo, AD, and Jalen Brunson. Here's third team with Sabonis, Howie, Edwards, Cade, and Bam. We do get Giannis on all defensive first team as well. So this team should really be able to make a run in the playoffs, I think. We ended up as the 2 seed. How about that? I don't think we're the 2 seed if I don't trade away Middleton, Trent, and Brook Lopez. This team won 51 games. We go 51-31. We had the tiebreaker over Philly. Both Dame and Giannis averaged 25 plus. Then we had LaVine, Portis, Vooch, all former Bulls finishing out our scoring. And then there's Nesmith, Isaiah Jackson, Prince, AJ Johnson, who probably won't play in the playoffs. I don't know, though. He did shoot well from 3. Taurean Prince was a good shooter this year. As much as I would like to play AJ Johnson, he's going to be the odd man out. I think I'm going to go like 10 minutes to DeLon Wright. We got 15 to Isaiah Jackson. I may even go a little bit more, like 18 to Isaiah Jackson, because I'm going to stick at 30 minutes for Vooch. We can go 28 minutes to Bobby Portis. That's fine. Let's go 39 to Giannis. Let's go 38 to LaVine. 39 to Lillard. We can go 1 more to Aaron Nesmith. So round number 1 against Cleveland. 2 Central Division teams going at it. It is funny that the 2 big trades we made were with Central Division teams. We take home a Game 1 victory by 7. Giannis with a 20-point triple-double. Dame at 35. LaVine at 23. Game number 2 is going to go to the Milwaukee Bucks. We win 136-104. LaVine and Lillard combined for 65. Am I saving the Milwaukee Bucks right now? Game 3 goes to the Bucks. We win 112-102. LaVine with 34. Giannis with the 23-point triple-double. We don't sweep them. All right, that's fine, but we are setting up the gentleman's sweep. And, all right, don't let them force a Game 7. All right, thank God we won in 6. That would have been the ultra jinx if I said I'm saving the Bucks and then we lost a 3-0 series lead. And we're getting playoff Dame time here in Milwaukee. 30 points and 9 assists. There's LaVine, like... Yeah, this is a really good big 3 of LaVine, Lillard, and Giannis. It will be a different time for me when we go up against Indiana. All right, let's do this. Now I'm locked in. Indiana Pacers. So we're looking for revenge after the 2024 season. The Pacers knocked off the Bucks, but the Bucks were injured. So this is a new Milwaukee squad. Game number 1 goes to the Pacers, though. Damn, I'm hyping this team up, and then we end up losing by 29. Dame at 36, he did his part. Zach LaVine, 3 of 12 from the field. Vucevic, 5 of 12. How's he been in the playoffs? He's been not really great. I think I may lower his minutes just a tad. I kind of want to increase Aaron Nesmith's a little bit more. All right, here we go. Game number 2. Do not lose both in Milwaukee. There we go. So we ended up winning game 2, 111-109. We outscored them by 14 points there in the fourth quarter. Was it 14 in the fourth quarter? Yeah, 14 in the fourth quarter. Game number 3 goes to the Pacers. They win 119-112. So this is a massive game 4. I wouldn't say season's on the line. Like, we could afford to lose this game. Like, we're not going home if we lose this, but I would say it's must win. Let's see what happens here. Second quarter, not the best. Third quarter, though, we play better than them. Fourth quarter has been strong. We're up by 15, and we are going to tie this series up at 2 games apiece. Damian Lillard, man, he has been phenomenal in these playoffs. This isn't the Damian Lillard that Milwaukee wanted to acquire. 38, 5, and 15. 22 for LaVine. Double-double there for Giannis. Huge game number 5 here at home. Can we at least defend home court here? Let's go up 3-2. I don't want to go down 3-2. What a second quarter. What a third quarter. And we are blowing them out right now. We are going to take game number 5. We're up 3-2. Zach LaVine, man, what a pickup. 31 points here. Giannis, 25. Lillard, 23. Can we win this in 6, or are we going to a game 7? Of course we are. We're going to a game 7. We lost by 2. Damian Lillard fouled out in 19 minutes. Here we go. Game number 7. We're at home at least. The last time we were home, it went well, but we are not off to a good start. We're currently down by 12. Can we at least perform better in the third, please? I mean, we're still in it. We're only down by 8. This game is far from over. We're down by 9. Come on, we got to go on a run. Down by 7. Down by 9. Down by 10. Down by 9. Oh my God, we're not going to win this. Yep, we're going to lose in game 7. Come on. Oh, I feel like we were the better team. We were up 3-2, and then we ended up losing 2 in a row, which is pretty frustrating, I can't lie. 32 for Dame, 27, 12, and 8 for Giannis, 19 for LaVine. He did not play too well. All right, well, that sucks. I feel like we should have been there in the conference finals. The Knicks and the Timberwolves are in the NBA finals. These two teams made a massive trade with each other, and the Timberwolves win it all. And Ant is your finals MVP. All right, well, that does stink. I really thought we were going to have a chance. So Brook Lopez ends up retiring anyway, so at least I got Vucevic on the payroll. I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing, but we can maybe look to move that contract. I'm not sure. Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook head to the Hall of Fame. I thought about trading for Chris Paul too this season, but I didn't really have a good offer on the table. So we will not own our first round pick this year. It's going to go to the Brooklyn Nets. So we're going to lose out on the 25th pick. Wizards get the number 1, Bulls number 2. So hey, I think that LaVine trade is working out for them. Vibes are better there. Jazz at 3, and then you have the Rockets via Phoenix at 4. Oh, so shout out to 2K actually fixing the draft picks. Yeah, maybe they heard me. I don't know. But yeah, they fixed the draft picks. Now Brooklyn actually owns their 2025 first. And man, I do want to fire Doc Rivers. I don't really want him. I mean, I'm not paying, I guess, Adrian Griffin or any of the old guys. Could I get Will Hardy? The Jazz really let him go. Could I get Charles Lee? Yeah, I'm firing Doc Rivers. I can't stand him as my head coach. I don't know why they decided to hire him. It didn't really make any sense. I get why they fired Adrian Griffin if there's really problems in the locker with him and your star player in Giannis, but I would have went the other route. So I think Will Hardy's probably a little bit more realistic that he hits the open market since Charles Lee just became a head coach. And the Jazz have been very bad to start off this season, so maybe they would pivot to firing him, but I doubt it. They know that they were giving a good coach the years in the rebuild. So I think guys that we could look to move this offseason, Chris Livingston, AJ Green, Andre Jackson. I'd still like to develop AJ Johnson. He's so young, and I was a big fan of Tyler Smith coming out of the draft. All right, I want to see if the Pistons would do this trade. I would give them Andre Jackson, AJ Green, and Chris Livingston for 3 second rounders, including pick 42 in this draft, and Simone Fontecchio, who I think could actually be a better player than like Pat Connaughton was in that scoring role off the bench. They're going to say no, what about I subtract a second? They say no to that. All right, so we're going to do Jackson, Green, and Livingston for Fontecchio in a second. They will agree to that. So the number 1 overall pick is actually Ace Bailey, not Cooper Flagg. He's going to the Washington Wizards. The Bulls at number 2. They don't take Cooper Flagg. They take Dylan Harper. Number 3, the Utah Jazz are actually trading this pick in Svi Mykhailiuk for Trae Young. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. I actually could see that. I mean, Utah needs a point guard, and maybe, well, there's Cooper Flagg on the board, so they would obviously just draft Cooper, but they get Lowry Markkanen and Trae Young in Utah, and I guess Atlanta has an opportunity to take Trey Johnson. Oh my God, you could have taken Cooper Flagg. How is he falling? Oh my God, he's gonna fall to 6 to Brooklyn. Oh my God, they're actually trading the pick with Chicago. So Chicago trades down. They get they get Cam Johnson. They got to give up that Blazers first. So are they gonna get Cooper Flagg? Yeah. All right, this has been a wild draft. And I love with who I got at 42. I got Knipple from Duke, who's an elite shooter. And he's going to be, I think, kind of similar to what Reed Shepherd was for Kentucky last year at Duke this season. So, yeah, let's advance here. We have no team player options. We will give Isaiah Jackson the qualifying offer. Let's say Knipple can't really play good minutes for us this season. I would like to see if we can get Caris LeVert on a 2-year deal, and we are able to do so. We are going to renounce the rights on Taurean Prince, DeLon Wright, but not Isaiah Jackson. So yeah, LeVert is basically this year's like Gary Trent or Taurean Prince for somebody we're getting basically on the minimum. And we are going to bring back Isaiah Jackson on a 3-year deal worth $26 million. And I'm also going to sign some veterans, Justice Winslow and Spencer Dinwiddie. So Giannis regresses. Okay, he is down to a 95 overall. We're seeing the Damian Lillard regression. Zach LaVine regresses, which I don't really agree with. There's Nikola Vucevic going up. We'll see if he's going to be on this team at some point. We're definitely going to monitor this team throughout the first half of the season and see if we need to make another big move at the deadline, which I'm not afraid in doing so. All right, so this is what the rotation is going to look like to start off the season. If Caris LeVert is not performing well, I will go to AJ Johnson. Knipple will probably be after AJ, and that's if AJ doesn't perform well, then it'll be Knipple. But yeah, this is going to be the starting five: Lillard, LaVine, Nesmith, Giannis, and Vucevic, with Bobby Portis, Isaiah Jackson, Fontecchio, and Caris LeVert off the bench. And that's the thing with Milwaukee. Like, Middleton and Brook could maybe want extensions at the end of the year, but if they leave, Milwaukee doesn't have the cap space to absorb a Zach LaVine or Nikola Vucevic. So if they wanted to get those contracts going forward, they'd have to move Middleton or Brook Lopez right now, just because Giannis and Lillard are taking up so much of their cap space, making $50+ million. And if there's going to be a Bobby Portis extension, they're not really going to ever have cap space. So I wonder if Milwaukee realizes that, but I don't know, man. With the apron restrictions, they might not even be able to pull anything like that off throughout the regular season. Milwaukee may be in an interesting spot going forward, and they also don't own many of their draft picks as well. So they really can't afford to trade Giannis for none of their picks back. Giannis just put up 43-10 against Miami. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to monitor this team. I'll see you guys in the start of December, and I'll see if, all right, I'm going to move Vucevic or somebody like that. All right, so we are here on December 7th, and we are 14-8. So that puts us as the 5th seed here in the Eastern Conference. I think we've been good this year. I would like to have been a little bit better, but I think we have been solid. Damian Lillard, although his overall did regress, his play has not regressed by any means. He's still averaging 25 points, 7 assists on really good efficiency, 48, 41, 96 splits. I would like LaVine to be a little bit better as a number 3 option, at least with that 3-point efficiency. Vooch has been fine. I wouldn't say anything great. Bobby Portis has been kind of disappointing. Aaron Nesmith is hitting his threes. There's a way that Isaiah Jackson just starts over Vucevic going forward. Caris LeVert has been knocking down his threes, and Fontecchio as well. So the bench unit has been playing solid. Now, I would be intrigued in like this trade from the Chicago Bulls, but funny enough, we're giving Vucevic back. It's like if Cam Johnson became a negative contract, we'd take on that money for next year. But Vucevic back to Chicago, I don't know if I'm going to do that. Like, this could be something if we wanted Jeremy Grant. He's 31 years old. I just wouldn't really want to throw in an Aaron Nesmith, but I'd probably have to. Now, this is something I'd be intrigued about, getting Rudy Gobert and having Rudy and Giannis in that front court defensively. Trey Murphy's contract has not aged well for the Pelicans, so we could absorb that money and a first-round pick, and then they get off of that contract going forward. All right, that's something we could definitely look at, but let's just go to like mid-January and see if I really want to move Vucevic. All right, so we are 19-18 here in the middle of January. We have not been playing well over the last calendar month, and we are currently the last team in the playing tournament. We have a negative 0.9 point differential. So I want to look at our defense compared to our offense. What do we think we need to upgrade on? So our offense has been great. We're averaging 118 points per game. That is 4th in the NBA. The defense, though, I guess maybe isn't as strong. I don't know, though. The defense, the defense has not been good, it looks like. So I wonder, 4th worst defensive team in the league. I wonder if that's the Dame Zach LaVine backcourt. Now, trading Vucevic for Trey Murphy doesn't really help out our front court defense, but there's still a chance I can move Vucevic, and then I could start Isaiah Jackson. I think getting Trey Murphy would be an upgrade over Aaron Nesmith. It can improve the bench even more, and I don't know why I said I would also be able to move Vucevic. Vucevic would be in this trade, and I'm tempted. I'd be taking on Trey Murphy's contract that they are obviously regretting. He's on the trade block, and we get them an out in Vucevic, who honestly could be a solid center for them, could be better than Yves Missi still this year, and could be a nice floor spacer to Zion. So we're going to offer this trade. Like I said, it's a salary dump for New Orleans, and we got to take on this money. They're going to agree to that. So then this could potentially make Zach LaVine expendable as well, just because there's a way we could go Neesmith at the 2, Trey Murphy at the 3. And I hate to do it because I don't want to move Simone Fontecchio. He's been good this season, but we're going to do another salary absorption. We are going to take on Jonathan Isaac's contract from the Orlando Magic. It still has $59 million more guaranteed, but he helps out our defense a ton. We're also going to be getting a first-round pick in doing so, and we're going to be giving them Caris LeVert's potential expiring and Fontecchio's expiring. So these are the moves that we have to make to still have cap space long-term to make deals. And then hopefully get players on good value because they lose their value because of their bad contracts currently. So yeah, we're going to opt for Bobby Portis at the 5, maybe even like Giannis at the 5 and Bobby Portis at the 4. We'll figure that out. I think Isaac can get 20 minutes a night. I don't know though. I kind of want to see what Isaiah Jackson can do. So I think we're actually going to have Isaiah Jackson start. And then we're going to get AJ Johnson in there as the 9th man, and if he doesn't shoot well, we'll try out Conkinipple. So after those notable moves, we are 4-star balance under Will Hardy. I won't say we're done yet. There still could be a potential LaVine or Bobby Portis trade. And we are here at the trade deadline with a 26-22 record. We are still the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference, and we are just not one of the top teams. Somehow the Nets are just this good when we have a much better roster. This is the problem with the sim. Like, come on. Come on. Chris Middleton is leading this team to the 1 seed. I have Giannis. I have Damian Lillard. Why are we the 8th seed? So AJ Johnson has not been shooting the ball well, but I'm definitely gonna, I think, give him a little bit more time. Last year he didn't start off shooting well, and he got better over the course of the year. Not gonna lie, I don't think I'm gonna make any trades. I think I'm gonna ride with this team for the rest of the season. We're gonna evaluate what we need to change in the off season. Damian Lillard could opt out of his deal, which would be kind of shocking if he did $58 million at that age. I don't know if he will do that because, yeah, he's projected to get 30 million. I think he'll opt in. Giannis, we may as well just add on 2 years, just make sure we keep him around. And I can ink a 2-year extension with Aaron Neesmith as well. We're going to give him 10 mil per year, so now he's under contract for the next 4 years total. So Luka won MVP this season. Cooper Flag, who fell to 6, won Rookie of the Year. He did shoot 17% from 3, which may be something to keep an eye on. Bones Highland was your 6th man of the year. All right, shout out to Bones. I mean, not the greatest efficiency. That's like a 90 stat line. But hey, if you're a Clippers fan, you definitely take that or the Clippers in general. And he also won Most Improved Player this year. Maxey won Clutch Player of the Year. Here's All-NBA first team with no Giannis or Dame. Giannis does make All-NBA second team with 24.5 points, 9.3 rebounds, and 5.8 assists, 61% from the field. And All-NBA third team, no Damian Lillard. Okay, Giannis does get on all defensive first team. And we are here in the playoffs. Thankfully, we ended up as the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. This is a team, man, I think we could beat. It's pretty cool that we're going up against Chris Middleton, but we're just better than them on paper. I just feel like Dame, Giannis, and LaVine can lead me to the promised land. I may even go with an 8-man rotation, but hey, honestly, I was patient with AJ Johnson, and he proved me right. He ended up shooting 46 from the field, 36 from 3. I actually think he's going to be in the playoff rotation. So he's going to get 10 minutes a night. I'm glad we got Jonathan Isaac's defense. He's going to get like 17 minutes a night. Bobby Portis was more efficient down the stretch, but I'm only going to play him 20 minutes a night. And then we're going to go about 23 to Aaron Neesmith for his shooting. Let's go 27 to Isaiah Jackson, 38 to Giannis. Trey Murphy, I think, was also better for us, which is good to see. Let's go 36 to Lillard, 30. We'll do 3 to Murphy, and we'll do 36 to Zach LaVine. So going up against Brooklyn in round number 1, we do take game number 1. We blow them out. Yeah, Cam Thomas shot 41 points. Giannis shot 36, LaVine 32, Dame 30. That was a very impressive win by us. The big 3 getting it done. Game number 2 goes to the to the Brooklyn Nets. They won by 17. Cam Thomas shot 37. Lillard only took 7 shots. Or no, that was Bobby Portis. Lillard took 12 shots, averaged a double, or got a double-double here. Same with Isaiah Jackson. Big game 3, and we go down 2-1. How did we lose by 12 to this team? They should not be beating me. Cam Thomas is dropping 40 a night against me. Maybe that is realistic. Game number 4, we do end up winning by 6. We had to come back down by 16, or 16-point deficit in the 4th quarter. We come back. We take a lead by 5. Game number 5 goes to Brooklyn. Oh my God, we just lost by 46 points. 46 points. God damn. LaVine's been a really good number 3 option for me. I mean, I don't know how we're losing. Everybody's playing well, at least at the top of it. Game number 6. I mean, we blew a 3-2 lead last year in round 2. Can we be on the end of that, and maybe can we come back down 3-2? We have a good second quarter, fine third quarter. Don't choke it here in the 4th. You're up by 4, up by 2, up by 1. We're blowing it, aren't we? Oh, God. Okay, we won. Thank God. We ended up winning by 2. LaVine dropped 29, Lillard 27 and 14. Here we go. Game number 7. It's at the Barclays Center. I am so nervous, man. I fired Doc Rivers, and it would be kind of comical if I'm a first-round exit and we actually get worse with Will Hardy. You're down by 13 with 6 minutes left. It's now or never, Milwaukee. Please. down by 17. Oh my God. I guess it's going to be never. And we are a first round exit team again. 22-7 for Levine. I feel like at this point, Giannis would definitely request a trade. Anthony Edwards, another conference finals MVP, and Halliburton in the East. So a battle of two 2020 draft picks as the Pacers win in 7. Halliburton is your finals MVP. Shout out to the 2020 draft picks, man. You got LaMelo Ball, Halliburton in the Eastern Conference Finals, Anthony Edwards in the Western Conference Finals, and Dallas took Josh Green that year. So there goes James Harden. He retires. Kelly Olynyk, Klay Thompson, Bojan Bogdanovic, Greg Popovich, and Charles Lee retires as well. Okay, I guess Lee just didn't get a coaching job and decided to call it quits. And we will not be owning our first round pick this year. It's going to be a swap. Oh my God. So, okay, that pick at 9 is New Orleans if I had to guess, which means we are definitely not getting that pick. So that is going to go to the Pelicans at 10. They dropped the spot, which means we're going to get our first round pick at 24. So, hey, it is something. It could be a trade asset. I got to convince Giannis I'm still in a win now mindset and I'm not going to just look to retool. And we are here at the night of the 2026 draft. Cameron Boozer is your number 1 overall pick to the Orlando Magic. All right, so they are going to have a really sick team going forward. AJ DeBance at number 2. Chris Senick, number 3 to the Lakers, a nice center, as we have a trade here for and a Clippers pick for Men Thompson and Dylan Brooks, and Darren Peterson is selected there, and Jalen Harrelson is going to the Heat. So I feel like this is where, like, yeah, you would move Giannis, but no, we are still going to try to stay competitive for next year's season, and I have no idea if this is the riskiest trade ever, but I'm going to send Zach LaVine and 2 future first-round picks, well, I guess number 24 in this draft, and a future Orlando pick that we got from the Jonathan Isaac trade for Derek White. Now, Derek White is regressing a little bit. He is 32 years old, and maybe Boston is realizing to get out at the highest point, they'd be saving $5 million against the luxury tax. I don't care. I am desperate at this point to add a good defensive guard next to Damian Lillard because our backcourt defense was not very good. So let's get Derek White. I mean, he averaged 9.8 points per game last year, and he's making $30 million a year. This could go wrong for us. Boston here, they take Darius Cup Jr. And Boston also wasn't very good, so they're trying to make some type of move. Now, let's see who they took with our pick at 24. They took Dash Daniels. I think he's related to Dyson Daniels. Team player options, Dame opts in, not surprised. Pick up the options on AJ Johnson and Con Knipple. But I do need these cheaper bench deals, so I can't really trade those guys because they're making, like, very minimum money. Ooh, I do have a little bit of a mid-level exception. Okay. I would like Rui Hashimura a ton, but I do have Trey Murphy and Aaron Nesmith. I feel like I don't need to add Isaiah Joe or Keon Ellis just because I have AJ Johnson and Con Knipple. So I'm kind of looking at the centers. Not a lot of great options. Jay Will, I mean, he wants $8.6 million. He wasn't really good last year. So I feel like Nick Richards might be the best option. So I'm going to sign, unless there's a really good power forward there that I like, Tobias Harris. Draymond Green would be funny. He's actually getting $12 million a year from the Kings. I just don't trust his offense. And I already have Jonathan Isaac, who's a better defender right now at this point in their careers. So I'm going to get Nick Richards here. So if I move Bobby Portis, it doesn't have to be directly for a center. Let's actually pay him $8 million a year. Let's give him, 3 years. So it's going to be pretty much the same amount of money as Isaiah Jackson got paid. Also, LeBron didn't retire. I should have noted that. He's 41 years old. He just signed with the Dallas Mavericks on a 1-year deal. Jimmy Butler just went to Denver. Luka Doncic went to the Clippers. Miles Turner to the Jazz. People are switching teams left and right. I saw Walker Kessler go to the Pacers to replace Miles Turner. I also could get a good backup point guard here. I don't want to really sign Kevin Porter Jr. for obvious reasons. So I'll get Dennis Schroeder on a 2-year deal. He's probably going to regress, but if I ever needed a backup point guard, he's my guy. And Damian Lillard has regressed down to an 82. Derek White has regressed. We're going to hope that the vibes are a little bit different on this team now. I could still make a big move at this year's deadline. We have been not shy whatsoever making big trades throughout the regular season. And there goes LeBron. He is going to retire at the end of this year's season. So I'm actually going to start off with kind of a crazy rotation. It's going to be an 11-man rotation to start off the season. We're going to have a deep bench of Portis, Nesmith, Isaac, Richards, AJ Johnson, and Con Knipple. So I want to see what Con can do. The starting 5 is going to be Lillard, playing a little bit less minutes this year. He's getting up there in age. Derek White, Trey Murphy, Giannis, and Isaiah Jackson. Yeah, this is a very interesting season for us for sure. Damian Lillard is in the final year of his $58 million contract. Him and Con, just because Con was a second-round pick, are the only free agents at the end of this year. If we look at our system proficiency, we're 4-star balance under Will Hardy. Oh, and Damian Lillard is going to retire at the end of the season. So we'll keep that in mind at the trade deadline. If a team wants to get out of a bad contract again, we'll call them up and we'll say, do you want Damian Lillard? You can get out of this contract at the end of the year. It's an expiring deal, and we'll take on maybe $60, $70 million guaranteed or $80 million guaranteed over the next 2 to 3 years. And maybe we're seeing the Derek White effect before our very eyes because we are 32-17. We have a 7.8 point differential. Look who's at the top. the Chicago Bulls. We made a big trade with them a couple years ago. They're playing really well right now. So then I'm asking myself, do I want to make a big move at this trade deadline? I mean, we definitely have the assets to do so. I mean, I think it'd be cool to have like a final last dance with Damian Lillard in his career. He's 36 years old. He's retiring at the end of the year. Let's see if we can get him a ring. For some reason, Giannis is averaging less this year. Maybe it's because the bench got bigger. Derek White, though, I think we bought in at the right time. Look at this performance. 18.7 points, 4.4 rebounds, 6.2 assists. We bought low from Boston. I think Trey Murphy is a really good piece for us right now. Bobby Portis in this diminished role has been way more efficient. I like this team. I really do. Aaron Nesmith is knocking down his shots. AJ Johnson is knocking down his shots. How is Khan doing? He's knocking down his shots. Even Jonathan Isaac, hasn't been a complete negative asset. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to make any trades. We have the depth to go with different or different lineup constructions in the playoffs. And Dame now won't retire. He bought back in. I'll give Dame a one-year deal worth $25 million. So that's going to save us $35 million against the luxury tax. And he's going to come back. Maybe that will be his last year next year. And Wemby wins MVP in his 4th year in the NBA. 98 overall. Going to get a massive rookie extension. AJ Dubance, rookie of the year on an already good Thunder team. Tyler Hero, 6th man of the year. Again, so he's already won that award in the past. Drake Powell winning most improved. It's cool to have a player named Drake in Toronto winning an award. And you have Zion, getting clutch player of the year. No Milwaukee Bucks on first team. Giannis is on all NBA second team. No Dame on third team, and Giannis makes all defensive second team. So the Milwaukee Bucks made the playoffs, but as the 6th seed. All right, so we are going to definitely trim this rotation down for the playoffs, but I do think we can still make a run. I feel like we have the depth to do so. And we got to be able to beat Brooklyn, right? They're not that much better than us. So let's see who's going to get removed from the rotation. As much as I want to play like Concadipo, I don't think he's going to be in the rotation for the playoffs. I don't think Nick Richards is going to be in the rotation for the playoffs either. He's been good for us, but it's just like I'd rather get the shooting of AJ Johnson. Isaac can play a little bit of the backup center spot, and we know Bobby Portis can as well. I'm going to go 18 minutes to Bobby, 20 to Aaron Nesmith. That's going to be the bench right now. It's really solid. 25 to Isaiah Jackson. Let's go 40 to Giannis. It's a big year for him. 30 to Trey Murphy. Let's go 30. Honestly, let's go 40 to Derek White. Let's go 40 to Dame. And the final 2 can go to Trey Murphy. All right, so we're taking on Brooklyn, who has Tyus Jones, Dylan Harper, Still Middleton, Kobe Pete, and Jalen Duren in the starting 5. Cam Thomas still coming off the bench. Game number 1 goes to the Milwaukee Bucks. Good start. We dropped 141 on them on the road. Giannis, man on a mission, 45 here. Dame with 36 and 14 assists. Game number 2, we end up losing this one by 16. Similar start to last year. Aaron Nesmith had 23 points off the bench. Game number 3 goes to Brooklyn. They beat us 126-105. Also, not really a good result right now. Derek White. All right, I need you to shoot the ball a little bit better. Game number 4, and we lose. Oh, my God, man. Why does 2K hate the Milwaukee Bucks? I don't know. Game number 5. Are we going to lose in 5? We stay alive. We beat them by 1. Oh, my God. And we had to outscore them by 10 in the 4th quarter. Derek White, 3 of 17. You were so good in the regular season, Derek White. Why'd you forget how to shoot? And we end up losing 111-107 here in the first round. All right, so Doc Rivers in year 1 brought me to the conference semifinals. Will Hardy the next 2 years. Round 1 exits each year. God damn it, man. I just want to get Damian Lillard a ring. Scotty Barnes is getting a ring before Damian Lillard. LeBron retires. Oh my God, look at this Hall of Fame class right here. You have 5, would be 6 Hall of Famers guaranteed. They all retire today, in my opinion. 3 of the greatest players of all time. Not top 3 all time, but top 10 all time or 15. And yeah, you do see LeBron, KD, George, and Paul George joins Curry, LeBron, and KD in the Hall of Fame. So no Jimmy Butler. 2K never put Draymond Green in the Hall of Fame, but I do think he will be a Hall of Famer in real life. All right, draft lottery time. I believe here for the 2027 draft, we will not own a first-round pick. Shout out to the Brooklyn Nets having picks 4 from Philadelphia from the Ben Simmons Harden trade and 5 from New York from the Mikal Bridges trade. And they were a good team this year, and they're going to have picks 4 and 5. We will not own our first-round pick. It's going to go to Sacramento at 21. All right, I want to see if I can maybe trade Bobby Portis to the Clippers for Ivica Zubac. Would they be interested in this swap? They would want me to give them my 2031 first-round pick. I don't really want to give up future first like that. I will throw in Dennis Schroeder, who they value a ton. Okay, what pick do you have in this draft? 29. Can we maybe do something like this? They say, yes, they'll actually... I hate 2K straight system. They'll give me another first. I'll give them a second. Sure, why not? So we're going to have Ivica Zubac at the 5, Giannis at the 4. I mean, the spacing isn't great, but I don't think that really matters too much with this team's construction in 2K. I don't know, man. Like, is Damian Lillard a starter? Yeah, right? But, like, he's just not a good defender at all at this point in his career. And I'm not done yet. We are going to be acquiring Mikal Bridges from the New York Knicks and even a future first-round pick for Trey Murphy and Isaiah Jackson. The Knicks are going to get more depth with this trade, and they are going to agree to it. So, our starting 5 next year. I'm going all in. Lillard at the 1, who might be an 80 or 79 overall. Derek White at the 2, Mikal Bridges at the 3, Giannis at the 4, and Zubac at the 5. So the number 1 overall pick was Austin Washington Jr. He's going to the Pelicans. He's a small forward. We ended up drafting Quincy Holmes here at 29, a power forward out of Indiana State. Shout out Larry Bird. We're going to pick up the team options on Tyler Smith and AJ Johnson. Hopefully I'm able to bring back Conkinable. Yeah, on the qualifying offer, that is going to be really good value. And I'm also going to be able to sign Corey Kispert on a 3-year deal worth $34 million. I probably should sign, like, I don't know, a different backup point guard, but we really can't work with that anymore. Caruso, I'll give a 1-year deal to as well. Fontecchio, welcome back here to Milwaukee. We get Caruso. Do we get Fontecchio? Yes, we do. As nobody in the top switched up, but Jalen Williams is now an LA Laker. Trae Young is a Warrior. How was he in Utah? He only spent 1 year there. Oh, and then he went to Washington. Okay. Jalen Green is now a Phoenix Sun. Interesting. Is Devin Booker a free agent? He's not. That's an interesting pairing. And Conkinable comes back on the qualifying offer. Damian Lillard is now a 78 overall. Man, it's time to go be a family man, Dame. And yeah, Damian Lillard is retiring at the end of the year. He's going to go on a farewell tour. So for now, Conkinable's going to get like 5 minutes in the rotation. I'm actually going to have Jonathan Isaac out of it right now just to see what this team looks like. So it's going to be Dame, Derek White, Mikal Bridges, Giannis, and Zubac, with a bench of Kispert, AJ Johnson, Aaron Nesmith, and Nick Richards. Is this going to be the same old story? I don't know, because if we lose in like round 1 this year, I may blow this team up, and I don't want to do that, but I may have to. And by blowing it up, I mean, yeah, Giannis is going to get traded. All right, I want to see if this is maybe a Damian Lillard issue. Could I maybe get Reed Shepherd, who's in the last year of his rookie contract, to be my starting point guard? Isaac and 2 first-round picks for him. They say no. What about Isaac and 3 first-round picks for him? This is a decent package for an expiring free agent. They say no. Ugh, I'm really going to have to throw in like 4 first-round picks, but I don't want to do that. All right, what about if I throw in Simone Fontecchio and you give me Eldon Joseph, who was the 36th overall pick? They say no. Wow, they really don't want to move Reed Shepherd for obvious reasons, but I thought it was worth a shot. So we're about to be at the trade deadline. We are the 5 seed in the East. And there's a lot of teams that are really good, right, in the Eastern Conference, as we are respectable this year, and Giannis is really good. Mikal Bridges as a complimentary piece I think is fine. Derek White, same. I don't think 2K is going to allow me to win a title with Damian Lillard as my starting point guard. I don't think they are going to. So my goal at this deadline is, wow, Zubac has been really good for us, is to improve my point guard spot, but keep Damian Lillard coming off the bench. So that means, yeah, Jonathan Isaac's probably going to get traded. I would like to keep Richards off the bench as the backup center. I think that means one of Conkinable could get moved, AJ Johnson or Corey Kispert. All right, so he's a really highly rated player right now, and that is Dyson Daniels. He's a 88 overall. He's making $26 million a year. I don't think he should be an 88 overall, but him and Derek White in the backcourt could be good defensively. So if I let off with Jonathan Isaac, Corey Kispert for Dyson Daniels, I assume they're going to say no and no counter. Okay, what about if I start off with 1 first-round pick? They agree to that. Okay. So, obviously, I wanted Reed Shepherd on this team, but I think getting Dyson Daniels will make us a title team, because I don't believe 2K wants me to play Damian Lillard as a starting point guard, which means now Damian Lillard is going to be the 6th man, I think. It's going to be him, AJ Johnson, Aaron Nesmith, Nick Richards, and Conkinable off the bench. It's not the best in the world, but I think Dyson Daniels probably gives us a better chance at winning a title as our starting point guard than Damian Lillard. Like, this is a good starting 5. What's scary about Daniels, I hope I have bird rights on him at the end of the year, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Derek White, let's bring back on a 2-year deal worth $40 million. Zubac, let's bring back on a 3-year deal worth $60 million. That's fine with me. He's definitely earned that. Now Dame wants to re-sign again. I thought you were doing a farewell tour, dude. So Nesmith for that price, I'm going to bring him back. Let's see if my theory is going to work out in our first 2 games since moving Dame to the bench. All right, we are 3-1, 3-2 since that decision. All right, Giannis just won MVP. I did not expect to see that in his age 33 season. I mean, 25 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, over a steal and a half and block and a half a night, 57% from the field. Come on, man. This has to be the year. It really does. So we don't get Coach of the Year. Giannis is obviously on All-NBA first team. We get him on All-Defensive first team as well. What seed are we in the East? Please tell me we're a high seed. We're a 3 seed. Okay. That's fine. We've been a 2 seed in the past, and we're taking on the Pacers in round number 1. But I think we have the best starting 5 around Giannis that we've had so far, and that's with Damian Lillard coming off the bench. So for the playoffs, I don't think I'm going to have the 10-man rotation. Conkinable was probably a better shooter down the stretch. AJ Johnson's 3-point shot wasn't as consistent as I would have liked. So off the bench, I think AJ Johnson and Nick Richards 15 minutes apiece. Let's go 22 to Aaron Nesmith, 18 to Dame at this point in his career. He's kind of like Russell Westbrook. Let's go 32 to Zubac, 38 to Giannis. Derek White, please show up in the playoffs. I'm going to give you 35 minutes. Dyson, I'll give you 32. I'm nervous, man. I really am. Round number 1 against the Indiana Pacers. They have Moses Moody. I mean, this isn't the scariest team, but Siakam's off the bench. Halliburton carries this team in the sim. Game number 1 goes to Milwaukee. Good start. We blew them out. Giannis with a 34-point, 20 rebound, 10 assist triple-double. Okay, that's kind of insane. Giannis is on another planet right now. 29 and 10 in game 2. Mikal Bridges steps up for 36 points. Game number 3 goes to the Bucks. We win by 9. All right, I feel confident about this team right now. Game number 4, we just swept Indiana. All right, so for the first time in a couple years, we end up getting out of round 1. And 2 times it happened in these 4 games. Giannis had a 20-point, 20 rebound, 10 assist triple-double. So we're getting the Atlanta Hawks in round number 2 that no longer have Trae Young. They have picked up Bilal Coulibaly. I wonder if that was like a Trae Young-Bilal trade. Actually, no, it couldn't have been. Zachary Risa-Shea at the 3, Jalen Johnson and Okongwu. They Braden Berry's there as their point guard. Trey Johnson, who they took above Cooper Flagg as their 6th man. It's a good team. We shouldn't take them lightly, but we win game number 1 by 12. Great start. Derek White with 22. Game number 2 goes to the Bucks. We are 6-0 to start off this playoff run. I am nervous because I'm starting to believe. Game number 3 goes to the Atlanta Hawks. They blow us out for our first L. Of course, after I said that, we lose a game. We do go up 3-1. All right, we are 1 game away from the conference finals. Can we get there? No, we cannot. Can we get there after game number 6? Yes, we can. And the Milwaukee Bucks are in the conference finals for the first time in the Damian Lillard era. Wow, Dame has now been here for 5 years, and this is the first time in the conference finals. We're going to be taking on the 1-seeded Bulls. They are a scary team right now, I can't lie. They swept Washington, beat Toronto in 6, and then you have OKC, who is just unreal going up against Minnesota. All right, let's beat Chicago first. Game 1 goes to the Bulls. They beat us 152-137. God damn, man. I mean, Giannis is definitely the best player in this series, but Cooper Flagg is not far behind him. Game number 2, we win this. Oh, that was must win, and we blow them out by 37. Come on. 5 steals for Mikal, 3 for Derek White, 17 and 14 for Zubats. We lose game 3 by 28. All right, just bounce back and win game 4, please. Come on, man. Ugh, that sucks. All right, are we going to lose in 5? All right, we lose in 5. And you know what? That was the furthest we've made it in this video, but man, that stinks. The Bulls beat the Thunder in 6. Cooper Flagg is your finals MVP. I was starting to believe that we can go all the way. Does Damian Lillard not want to retire? What is going on? There goes Marjon Beauchamp. He retires. Dame is not going to retire. What is going on? And I really hope I can afford to bring back Dyson Daniels, because if I can't, I don't know. That's going to be a big L by me. We have Brooklyn's pick at number 19. Philadelphia is going to own our pick at 26 there. Not going to make any trades. We took Byron Gray here with the 19th overall pick out of Colorado. Hopefully it could be the next Derek White. I don't know. The number 1 overall pick was Thiago Pessoa, who's a 6'8 combo guard out of Brazil. He looks like a beast of a player going to the Wizards. We don't have any team player options. Qualifying offers, Knipple and AJ Johnson can definitely get those, as Damian Lillard is a free agent. And tell me I can't afford Dyson Daniels. Oh my God, I hate myself. I can't afford Dyson Daniels. That sucks. I should have known. Maybe I can. All right, let's see if 2K is going to allow me to sign him. I would love that. I'm just going to give Dame a 1-year deal to be Dyson's backup. Let's see what happens. Let's sign Dyson. Let's sign Dame. Let's renounce the rights on some of these guys. All right, nobody move. Please allow me to sign Dyson Daniels, please. Please. Yes, let's go. Thank God. I'm definitely not giving AJ Johnson $26 million. I hope another team doesn't do the same. Yeah, I don't know why Tyler Smith wants that much. You're definitely not going to be getting that. I'm also going to sign Tyus Jones to a 2-year deal, who could be a good backup point guard if Damian Lillard is like unplayable or he retires actually after this year. And we are going to bring back AJ Johnson on a 4-year, $82 million extension. That could become somewhat tradable at one point. And we're going to sign Con Knipple to a 4-year, $30 million contract. I also could sign PJ Washington to a 2-year deal as well. It's just a good depth piece at this point. Giannis, 95 still. Derek White has started to regress. All right, you don't love to see that. Yeah, like Dame's 74. I don't even know if he's going to crack the rotation. It's like a Make-A-Wish Foundation. We're just like charity to Dame. Just, you know what, Dame, you could be on this roster one more year. It's like the Udonis Haslem thing in Miami. All right, so we are going to run a 12-man rotation out here once again. I don't know, man. It's been the same story every single year. I hope this is going to be the year we can finally get it done. And we are here at the trade deadline. 36-18 record. We are the 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. The Magic are now really good, and that is a, oh my God, loaded starting 5. Loaded top 7, top 8. That's a good team. Toronto is up here in conversations as well. They have, I guess, a weak spot at the center. What? Donovan Mitchell was coming off the bench? What? Could I trade for him? I'm actually being serious. All right, so, whoa, all right, that is a lot to look at right now. I mean, Donovan Mitchell is making $45 million. There'd probably be somebody better making $45 million per year if I were to get to that point. I don't know. Dyson Daniels has been really good this year. He's averaging 8 assists and shooting 42% from 3. Maybe I don't mess that up. I would like to re-sign Giannis and Nick Richards, though, if I can. There we go. Let's give Giannis a new 3-year extension. He could take whatever he wants. Nick Richards will re-sign as well. Let's give him a 2-year deal. $4.5 million. And Giannis just won another MVP award at 34 years old. Oh my God. 26 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. He has averaged 3 stocks a night. Good Lord, man. We're getting Giannis like best player in the league seasons here at this point in his career. But I can't win it all around him. It's so upsetting. We did surpass Toronto and Atlanta. We are the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. We're taking on the Charlotte Hornets, another good team in the sim in round number 1. They also have Gary Trent Jr., which is kind of funny. Milwaukee Bucks legend. So let's see if this team... Oh, wow. AJ Johnson was really good. He was. All right. Let's see if this team could maybe make a run for the playoff rotation. Let's just go... Let's go to a 9-man. I don't know. I guess Con Knipple. I mean, he was such a good shooter. How was Aaron Nesmith this year? Also a good shooter. And he's got the veteran aspect to his game. So, sorry, Con. You are not going to crack the rotation. AJ Johnson was good. He'll get like 24 minutes a night. Let's go with 32 to Zubats, 39 to Giannis. And then we can go 32 to Daniels, 32 to White, 32 to Bridges, and make it easy, 40 to Giannis. So, let's just beat the Hornets. I mean, if I can't get out of round 1, we don't deserve to be here. And we sweep them. Let's go. We're taking on Atlanta in round number 2. Giannis is on a mission again. All right, round number 2 against Atlanta. Trey, McNeely, Risachet, Johnson, and Kungwu. It's a good team, but we beat them last year. Can we beat them this year? Oh, it's tied 2-2. I'm so nervous. Game 5, we win. Please win Game 6. Boom! Back in the conference finals. Give me Chicago. I want revenge. It's going to be Orlando. Orlando's got a stacked team, man. They really do. So in the playoffs, in round number 2, I mean, Giannis was so good in round number 1. He was good in round number 2. Derek White, you have not been really good for me in the playoffs whatsoever. Can we beat Orlando? Oh, it's such a good team. Cameron Boozer at the 5. Paulo at the 4. It's a good bench. Game number 1 goes to Milwaukee. Oh my God, we are 3 games away from the NBA Finals. Game number 2 goes to Milwaukee. Game number 3, Orlando. 4, Milwaukee. Oh my God, don't blow us. Let's go. Let's go. All right, final series of the video. Giannis versus the Thunder. Here we go. That Thunder team is stacked. Oh my God, it's so good. I don't know if Giannis can carry this team for one more series. Game number 1 goes to the Thunder. Oh, by 1 point. You gotta be kidding me. Game number 2 goes to the Thunder by 30. Ah, jeez, man. Don't go out like this. Game 3. Oh my God, don't go out like this. Damn, we really needed to steal game number 1. We did. All right, we won game number 4. Can we pull off the impossible? I mean, in the finals right now, Bridges is playing all right. Giannis is playing well. White is playing well. Like, who's struggling? Is it Aaron Nesmith? I don't really think that matters. I mean, for these final games, let's just rely a ton on the starting 5. So, Richards, you're going to get like 8 minutes. I think Tyus Jones, you're going to get like 14 minutes. Maybe, honestly, just get 10 minutes. AJ, a little bit less. Nesmith, a little bit less. I'm going to rely a ton on the starting 5. Giannis, you're going to play 42 minutes. Bridges, you're going to play 35. Daniels, you're going to play like 38. White, 34. 34 to Zubats, and I'll do the remaining 2 to AJ Johnson. Here we go. Can we maybe come back? We are down 3 games to 1. We just got to seal this one on the road, and then we go to Milwaukee for game number, game number 5? Or, excuse me, game number 6. We're up by 20 right now. All right, it's looking good for us to at least keep this series alive. We handled business in OKC. We won 137-120. All right, we're alive. Game number 6. I mean, you win this one, anything can happen in game 7. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. That second quarter was abysmal. Please win quarter number 3. Oh God, quarter 3 wasn't great, but we're only down by 6. Come on. Come on, make a run, please. Please. No, we lost by 1. Oh my God, man. Yep, maybe it's time to trade Giannis in Milwaukee. Maybe it is time. Damian Lillard ends up retiring. I'm not done yet. I'm winning a ring. I am determined to get Giannis a ring here in Milwaukee. I guess I wasn't able to get Dame a ring. It's whatever. I mean, I feel bad, but what are you going to do? So funny enough, we actually had the 10th overall pick in this draft via the LA Clippers, and that pick ended up being Clay Law, an older player out of USC. He could be a trade piece. Quincy Holmes, who we took in the first round a couple years ago, pick up his team option. I think I'm going to make like 1 trade this offseason, and I'm going to sign Emmanuel quickly to a 3-year, $32 million contract, and I'm going to make this trade with the Memphis Grizzlies. We just took Clay Law. We're going to move Quincy Holmes and PJ Washington to Memphis for Caleb Wilson, who is a good-looking 23-year-old. He's showing some potential on the defensive side of the floor as Luka Doncic stays with the LA Clippers. So Giannis is a 94 overall. Zubats is starting to regress. Am I ever going to win a ring? I don't know. Also, a big switch this year. AJ Johnson is going to be in the starting 5, and Derek White has been moved to the bench. So Cooper Flag is winning MVP. Could be a realistic timeline for him. This is year number 5. Caleb Wilson ended up getting 6th man of the year. That looks like a good pickup for us. Giannis at 35, still making all NBA teams. And we are here as the 1 seed. Will it matter though? I don't know. This is our first time as a 1 seed in this video. 60-22. Round number 1 is against the Cavs. They no longer have Donovan Mitchell. I mean, if we're a 1 seed just to lose in round 1, put me out of my misery right now. We win in 5. We advance to take on the Washington Wizards. All right, taking on the Washington Wizards in round number 2. Ace Bailey's really good. Alex Sarr's a 90 overall. Please just beat them and go to the conference finals. Please, please, please. Oh my God, if we won in 7. Oh, I hate this game so much. I'm honestly going to do something crazy. I think I may make Caleb Wilson a small forward. Oh, he goes down in overall. Okay, should I make him a center? I think either way, he's a really good 6th man, but he's just eating into Giannis's minutes a little bit. We beat Orlando in game 1. We lose game 2. Win game 3. Lose game 4. We win game 5. Yes, we're in the finals again. Okay. This time, we're taking on the San Antonio Spurs. So can we do it? Can we beat Wemby and the San Antonio Spurs here in the NBA Finals? Please. Game 1 goes to Milwaukee. 2 goes to San Antonio. 3 to Milwaukee. 4 to Milwaukee. And the Milwaukee Bucks finally get it done. Oh my God, we win the 2030 Finals. And Giannis is your MVP. Oh man, I did not think I was ever going to get here. And we finally got a ring. I said I was going to save the Milwaukee Bucks, so I had to save them. It just took a little bit. And I hope you guys did enjoy. Drop a thumbs up if you did. Let me know in the comments which team we should rebuild next, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.